So a couple months ago, we did this ear training course, and we had lots of people sign up for that, lots of interest. And we had a bunch of guitar players messaging us saying, I'm singing. Like this actually improved my voice. It kind of did it by accident. I was trying to train my ear and become a better guitar player, and I felt like I improved my voice a little bit. But we also got a bit of feedback that, man, I wish I could just sing a little better.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that too during the process of filming that course.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about your journey as a guitar player and then a singer.
Yeah, so I've always wanted to be a singer, secretly.
Okay.
And when I picked up the guitar, I was kind of acting as both. And then found a passion for the instrument, so developed that, and the voice was kind of in the back burner. Did a few, background vocals for bands and things like that, and then stopped all band activity, but the dream was still in there.
Yeah.
And I would love to be able to, I have the ideas in my mind, but I don't know how to bring them out, and I just don't feel confident. I don't feel capable. So if you can help me,
Sure.
that'd be awesome.
So what I'm hearing you say is that your ears and your musical mind are there.
Yeah.
But the mechanics, what your voice maybe feels trapped.
Absolutely.
I think that is the number one thing that I hear as a vocal coach from guitar players especially, because they have this guitar which they can express fairly well on.
Yeah.
But then when they try to do that with their voice, if they're not already a singer, they feel like, why isn't this working the way my guitar playing is working?
Right.
Well, and there's a lot of reasons for that. You've spent years and years honing your technique, your muscle memory on your instrument, and so your fingers and your picking hand, your strumming, it feels natural to you. You've spent time getting your muscles to do what your brain says it should do and what your ear says it should do.
Yeah.
But we haven't and we don't think of our voice, our muscles and all that stuff as an instrument in and of itself. Therefore, it feels trapped. So in this free class, we've got 3 videos that are going to help you and every other guitar player out there who wants to get better at singing. We're going to help you free your voice. By the end of these 3 videos, it's not going to feel trapped.
Awesome.
And there's a couple things that before we start this first video, and really before we go further, that we're all going to have to sort of get over in order to make this work. I work with a lot of vocalists when they sit down in front of me, I'll say, do this or try this, and the exercises are a bit unconventional, even for standard vocal lessons. And they're like, I'm too shy, or I don't want to make that noise.
Yeah.
What will people think? What will my instructor think? What will my cat or my mother-in-law, who's in my house at the time while I'm practicing, think?
Yeah.
So we have to get over that. And the good news is the only people here who are going to be humiliated are me and David.
Yeah.
And when you see us doing these and making sounds and doing strange, maybe seems strange with our bodies, then you can try it and make sure that you're in a setting where you don't have to worry about who's watching or listening. So that might be your car. It might be, just wait till nobody's home. Bathrooms are great because they have mirrors. Again, just make sure that you're prepared to not be scared to make some loud, weird sounds. That's the only way we're going to free your voice. So one more thing before we do our first exercise. These exercises are not your typical vocal lesson class type things.
Yeah.
We're not going to sit around with an old lady and a piano and sing scales to we're not going to do that right now. We are going to do things that I've found have sped up the process of freeing your voice. So this isn't voice lessons, this isn't ear training, this is get your voice untrapped, get it freed.
Awesome, yeah.
So just wanted to make that clarification. With all of those things, Don't be afraid. We're going to be yelling. We're going to be doing some things that are a little weird. Don't be afraid that you're going to injure your voice.
Okay.
You're not going to. If you did these things all day, or you did them for longer than I'm going to recommend even,
Yeah.
there would be some problems, but you're not going to.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
okay.
Let's do this.
So, here's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to sit on the edge of our chair like this. And really, we're not going to worry so much about perfect posture. We just want our butt shoved back a little bit, and we want this to feel pretty straight. This is just going to free up, our muscles down here all the way up through our neck, so that we're not, doing this. We don't want to be sitting in a chair like this, because we can't produce with the muscles we're about to exercise.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And then, if you've ever been punched in the stomach, or you've ever had to bear down really hard when you're lifting,
Yep.
or you've tried to force out some gas that you've passed,
Every day.
you're using muscles that are very handy for singing and projecting. So we're gonna harness those not this way, like most of the time when you're lifting something really heavy. We're gonna harness them and push the air out this way,
Okay.
which is weird for some people. But so to do that, to first start discovering this, go ahead and take your shirt and do this, tighten it around your stomach, and we're just gonna do this kind of thing.
Like that?
Yeah. And so do it again. I want you to pinpoint right now upon that initial thing where the energy felt like it was coming from.
The very first.
Yeah, with what you just did.
Yep. I think it's coming from around the chest.
Feels like it's coming from the chest. Okay, so this is the key, or it's probably the main key to freeing your voice. Our mind has the ability to focus energy in certain parts of our body. So by thinking about it differently, we can actually tell our muscles to engage slightly differently. If you're doing this, and it feels like it's coming from your chest or your throat, I want you to do it again, and I want you to picture downward towards the floor with these lower muscles, not necessarily these muscles, but these muscles.
So the top of the leg, kind
Yeah,
of?
top of the leg or down here, your very lower abdomen.
Yeah.
And I want you to push your stomach out as much as you can while being up like this with your posture. And then I want you to practice, for now, bearing down and having the air come out here. So your mind, you're going to focus your energy on the muscles going down and up, not here.
Okay.
Visualize that happening as you, like that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it again.
Okay.
I'm feeling a sense of, if someone had punched me in the gut, like that. I'm feeling it lower abdomen. And there's a good amount of noise coming out my mouth even. You try. Does it feel lower now?
It feels lower. I don't know if there's any difference in the outcome you're hearing, but
Probably
it
not.
feels different.
We're not going necessarily for sound at all. We're going for pinpointing the feel.
Yeah.
We want it to feel as low as possible, like you're bearing down, like you're using those poop muscles, and like you're not relying on here and up.
Yeah.
You're generating the energy from down here.
It's interesting. Just thinking about it makes the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel it way lower.
Yeah.
Whereas now if I try to do it the other way, I don't even know that I can do it now. Yeah. Yeah.
And you should, if you put your hand on your stomach, it should feel like a very fast. Your energy's coming from there. It's moving really fast.
And it tightens too.
Yeah, this is
The
tightening.
abs are engaged.
Yeah, nothing else
do
is
it.
tightening, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not.
No.
You're not doing that.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Different.
Now I told you this was going to be a bit unconventional.
Yep.
And if you are still having any doubt that you're feeling the right area to focus your mind's attention, I have one more exercise for you,
Okay.
but it's going to require the use of a butter knife
Oh, okay.
or a toothbrush.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
here's your butter knife.
Great. I feel like a magician's assistant.
Okay. So now, I think most of us taking this course are adults, and
Yeah.
we don't want to do anything stupid.
Yeah.
But if you've ever been brushing your teeth, or you've ever been to the doctor's office and he says, say ah, and then he sticks the little thing
Yeah.
down your throat
Yeah.
and it causes you to gag a little bit, what happens when you gag?
It's a good question. I never thought about it, but it's uncomfortable, and I feel it in the back of the throat, like there's a reflex going on.
But there's this transfer of energy from your throat all the way down to these lower muscles.
Yeah.
So when you do this, like that, that wasn't comfortable, but you feel it in your throat initially, and then you feel it all the way down to these muscles that we're bearing down.
Yeah.
So don't do it a bunch, but if you're having trouble placing, okay, well, what is he talking about? What is this area? Because gagging is an involuntary reflex, and by me telling you, focus on these muscles, not these muscles, sometimes that's voluntary, right? I'm telling you to think about something, but experiencing the gagging once or twice, it's involuntary, and you're gonna feel your throat tense up. You're gonna feel the energy go from here down to here, which is exactly where we want it.
Okay.
This right here is our powerhouse when it comes to singing, when it comes to freeing our voice. Engaging these muscles and constantly having a sensation here and other places, but the energy of what we deliver for our voice should come from here and should be able to be harnessed from here.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
All right. I'm going to use so these are not sharp.
No,
Right.
no.
Should mention that. If I throw up, that's going to go viral. You know
That's
that?
true, yeah. Say ah.
I feel it. Yeah. So I felt it here.
And you
Yeah,
felt
it came from here
Yeah, and it kind of went down.
really fast.
Right.
And then it's almost like, when you have a thought, when you play guitar, got the thought goes through here, but it's very, very fast.
Right.
The thread. It's almost like the thread was like, all right, something's going on. It went really, really fast, and this created the action. But the thought came like, and then that was where I felt it. Yeah.
And
That's
did
where
you?
the energy came from.
And when you were doing the exercise earlier, were you affirmed or was it different?
I was affirmed, but yeah, this kind of confirms it.
Good.
It's not as strong as a feeling that I had when I was like, huh, huh.
But it's the
But
same area.
it's the same area. Yeah.
Great. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to either affirm that or, oh, well, no, I guess I was still focusing it up here, or
Yeah.
I was still in my neck. We want to push it down. We want to get a sensation of those muscles.
Yep.
So here,
I felt it.
I got you a napkin
Thank
to
you.
wipe off the butter knife.
All right.
All right, so now that we have a general feeling of where things are supposed to come from, we're going to practice engaging this with actual tone.
Okay.
And we're going to use hoo-ah, as you see on the back screen.
Yeah.
Hoo-ah. So what we want to do is get that back.
Yep.
And now we want to start by making a wrestler noise, like It's okay that we're kind of being weird with our throat right now. That's okay. We're adding some resistance there. That's fine. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's fine for now. We'd never sing that way. But again, we're practicing engaging this with some limitations in our throat, which is what singing is.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming from here.
Yeah.
Now we're going to get rid of that somewhat painful feeling there, and we're going to turn that into a tone, and it's going to be a lot louder. You know, if you were to just sing a note, if you were just to go, well, sing a note, yeah, it's kind of quiet, and you know, mine was quiet too. But if we engage this, and we then turn it into a note, we don't even care what note it is. We're just gonna Whoa. That is coming from this energy.
Yeah.
And right there is something a lot of singers have never, ever done. And maybe they have when they're yelling at their kids on the playground,
Yeah.
or they're on a ride at an amusement park and they're, like yelling, or, you know, we've probably done that unconsciously, but that kind of power is available for us as singers.
Yeah.
We just need to harness it and realize it.
And control it.
Right. Ha, ha, ha. It's coming from here. I'm bearing down as I'm allowing the energy to come up.
Yeah, so back to that.
Yeah.
That thing.
Yeah. You try.
Okay. No cameras are there. Nobody's watching this.
Nobody. Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that last one sounded like it was a bit more, you thought about it a little too much,
Yeah.
and it was weaker, and I could see this area of you start to be too engaged.
Yeah. I was trying to get out the breath first, like the
See, that's better. Yeah. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah. Ha, 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 ha. It's incredibly loud.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And we're not singing anything artistically or that anybody would want to listen to by any means. That's kind of the point.
Yeah.
We're just discovering, oh
yeah.
man, my voice can do this. Like that, it can be that loud. That's
Yeah,
pretty neat. And it doesn't
yeah.
even have to be high. We don't care so much about your voice box at this point. What your range is. We just want to
Yeah.
get this.
It's still looking at the machine, the mechanics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So doing that, we have two different steps. We have just the breathing.
Yep.
We have just the breathing, the caveman sort of breathing, that's engaging this area, and we're feeling that sensation of bearing down. Again,
Yeah.
using the poop muscles. That's all I can think about.
And standing like this really does help.
Yeah,
by the way.
it does.
Yeah.
It does. And then we're also, if you needed help finding that, we gag a little bit, and then we take this and we turn it into some sort of tone, using the volume and the power
Yeah.
that naturally comes from here. We're not creating volume by tensing anything.
No.
We're actually creating volume in a sense by relaxing this area and boosting from what is already strong. I mean, our core, in everybody's body, our core is very strong. Now what we want to do is we want to turn this into a sort of a rhythm. We're going to breathe. And on those top breaths, we should feel it. We should feel that bearing down. We should feel it going this way and this way at the same time. No tone.
Okay. Why is it hard?
It is hard. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you feel it
Oh
down
yeah,
here.
yeah. On the strong beats particularly.
Yeah, exactly. That's we're sort of drawing a comparison between a non-accented feel, a non-loud or bared down feel, and a truly bared down feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
I call it chugga breathing. You know,
Yeah.
You don't have to do it fast or slow necessarily. What matters is that you're feeling that difference.
Oh yeah. Like a dog. Yep.
Okay, we're going to go back to the pitch, and we're going to carry out the rest of this word, hoo-ah.
Okay.
What happens, let's think about our mouth for a minute, when we say the word hoo-ah. Hoo-ah.
Yep.
Hoo-ah. We're doing something with our mouth where we're starting narrow. Hoo. We got the initial burst of air. Hoo-ah. Like that.
Yep.
And we are doing a little bit of shaping with our mouth. Now, there's a whole lot we could get into on face resonance and all that stuff. We're not going to do that for now, but we will get a bit of this sensation as we do this exercise. We're going to bear down, get that initial sensation in our lower abdomen.
Yep.
start on hu, and then we're going to go to ah. And
Okay.
we're going to open up, we're going to exaggerate this a little bit, being as open as we can. And in order to be open, we're going to, that sensation you get when you yawn, where your neck sort of opens
Yeah.
up. I'm tired.
I see it. Yeah.
We want that sensation to be present when we eventually go to the ah.
Okay. So that's the transition, or when we do the ah, is it
Hoo, ah.
okay?
Like that. We want to
yeah.
be real open.
Okay.
I'm going to demonstrate. It's going to be loud because we're engaging this area. Hoo-ah! Hoo-ah!
All right. Hoo, hoo, ah.
Hoo-ah!
Hopefully, people are not watching this from this point and watch from the beginning. Hoo,
Ooh, you're trapping it. You're trapping it. Let it come out.
I did feel it more from the chest.
Right. Well,
there,
you were putting too much resistance
Yeah.
here. Hoo-ah!
Ah! A little bit of trapping too.
Yeah, but it's getting louder. Hoo-ah! Hoo-ah!
Ah!
That's better. Wow! That'd be the yawn right there.
Yeah.
There's a difference between that and ah. Both are good. Let's see if we can do both. So the difference is that I'm bearing down here.
Pretty annoying.
It is. That's bright. Ah! But it's not drop. This is up.
Yeah.
Neither are bad. Try to get both sensations, with this being your powerhouse. Hwah!
Yeah.
Hwah! Yeah, good. You succeeded in annoying me as well. Yeah. Now these are not good sounds, but it actually, I mean, if we're really being honest, it actually feels sort of good, right?
In a way.
Yeah, I like
It's
it.
it's a release.
It's not hurting you.
No.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's this sort of freeing feeling, which is all we're really going for with this first. So let's try this again.
Okay.
Hwah! Bright. Hwah! Hwah! Laughing engages these muscles
Yeah.
too. You know?
Yeah.
Hwah! 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 If I did it closer to you, would that be good?
Oh, I would hate you.
Your turn.
All right. So, question:
Yeah.
how important is it to get into the rhythm?
That helps me engage this area
Okay.
before I make the
Oh,
pitch.
yeah. That makes sense. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so if it helps you, definitely
Yeah,
try that.
to be aware of it. Yeah. I don't know what that was.
It was pretty good, especially the beginning of that. It's okay if your voice cracks. That's great. The bottom line is, what are you feeling? Not do you sound like Chewbacca?
yeah.
But what are you feeling?
Yeah.
And are you feeling these muscles engage?
Yeah.
And are you feeling pain or discomfort up here? If you are, you're not relying, you're tensing too much.
Yeah.
You're not relying here to get that extra volume. I mean, that's loud.
Yeah.
And it's relaxed here. The energy's coming from here.
Yeah. I'll try the bright one.
That's good.
And
Try relaxing your face a little bit more. That's good.
and I'll try the darker one.
Yeah. Good. Good. That's a lot of volume. That's louder than I've heard you. Of course, I'm not your children.
Yeah.
But that's louder than I've heard you.
Or my wife.
Right?
Yeah.
That's louder than I've heard you speak.
And it's very easy
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
once you engage that. You're right.
Yeah. So, in this first video, we've succeeded in dynamically freeing our voice a bit. we're not supposed to sound good at this point. We just have this realization of where our energy should and can come from.
Yeah.
When you're yelling, when you're having a good time outside, you know, trying to yell to someone or whatever, you're doing this already. Getting it into a little bit more controlled setting, like we're doing right now, is the first step in freeing your voice and making that energy available for your singing. It doesn't mean you always have to sing loud. It doesn't mean you always have to scream.
Yeah.
But we're going to work more on intelligently controlling this energy moving forward. So we look forward to having you back for our second video. We'll see you there.
See you there.